What's going on, guys? This is Vince with vshred.com, and in today's video I'm going to tell you 5 of the things that I wish I knew before I started working out. Alright, so like I said, today's video is just going to be covering a couple of things that I definitely messed up early on when I first started working out years and years ago, and I think it's something that would definitely help a lot of you if you take it and if you remember it along your journey, whether you're getting started today, this week, last month, or you've been doing this for a couple of years. I definitely think that these are a couple of great things to remember no matter who you are. And obviously there's a lot of things that I messed up along the road and a lot of things that you're going to be messing up along the road that have nothing to do with these 5 things, but hopefully this helps. Now, getting right into this, my first thing that I wish I knew when I first started working out is that supplements are not a necessity. When I first got into weightlifting, I was very skinny. I couldn't put on any type of muscle to save my life. I weighed about $120. I was about 5'9" back then. I'm now 6'2". And so I've grown a little bit, and obviously I've put on a little bit of man muscle as I've aged, but I've always found it very difficult to, especially in the beginning, to put on muscle. And so I thought that my best friends were going to be heavy lifting, eating big meals, and supplements. And I thought supplements were really the be-all, end-all thing that was going to help me put on size. So I mean, anytime I ran out of a supplement that I thought was going to be putting on muscle, let's say the next big mass gainer from GNC, or maybe a test booster from GNC, and granted, I'm not saying that these don't work, I'm just saying that you don't need them, and they're actually pointless if you don't have your nutrition figured out first, and then also your training figured out. So with that being said, for anybody out there who is, and it doesn't necessarily have to come down to only putting on muscle, for anybody out there trying to do anything in their fitness journey, whether that's put on muscle and bulk up, or lose 50, 60 pounds, or even just lose 10, 20 pounds and try to get that last layer of fat off and put on a little bit of muscle, you don't need supplements. Anybody that ever says that you need supplements to do something, they are just lying to you and probably trying to make $1 off of you. With that being said, I'm not saying supplements are completely pointless. Supplements can help you further your progress, help you increase the results that you get in the gym, in the mirror, and just speed up your results. But unless you have your nutrition and your training figured out first, they're not going to do anything. So tip number 1, supplements are definitely not a necessity. Now getting right into tip number 2, it doesn't matter how much you bench. And yes, that's tip number 2. How much weight, how many plates you can put on the bench press and rock out your 1 rep max, it doesn't matter. As long as you are going for any type of bodybuilding. If you're in this to obviously get healthy, but you're also in this to look better, become more confident in your own skin, how much you bench has almost nothing to do with how good you're going to look, how well you're going to perform in the gym. Granted, if you are a power lifter and I mean your main focus is those 3 big lifts, the bench, the squat, and the deadlift, then how much your 1 rep max is on the bench matters. But if you're going to the gym and you're doing the type of training where you're just trying to put on muscle and you're trying to look better, how much you can max out on the bench doesn't matter. And if you've ever been asked, if I ever get asked by anybody, and it used to happen a lot more when I was younger, just because, I don't know, I guess I was having other younger guys ask me questions, and I got questions about how much I could bench, and if I got asked that today, I would just laugh and say 1 million, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't tell how much you can 1 rep max is not going to tell me a damn thing about your physique, how well conditioned your muscles are, how well developed your muscles are, because even if you have a 500-pound bench, you still might not be looking as physically muscular as some guy who can only bench about 225. But if he benches, let's say 135, 185, and he does it the right way, and he's focusing on that time under tension, he's focusing on stimulating those muscle fibers over an extended period of time, and then also he's got his nutrition in play, he's going to look better than the guy who just focuses on that 1 rep max. And more often than not, the people who are focusing on that 1 rep max have complete shit form, and they're squirming under the bar, and they're rolling their shoulders forward, and they're just doing anything they can to get that heavy weight up, and that is not how you lift at all. So tip number 2, it does not matter how much you bench, bro. Now, tip number 3, and this one is something that I was definitely guilty of when I was younger. There's no need to live in the gym. And what I mean by that is going to the gym and spending any longer than an hour to an hour and a half tops. Too many times I would go to the gym, and it would be, let's say, after high school or something, and I would go there and I would camp out on the bench press. I would camp out at every machine that I'd be working. I would do way too many exercises. I would take way too long of rests. I would talk to other people, and I would get home and I would look at the clock, and I had been at the gym for over 3 hours. And when people associate the term of getting in shape, they associate that term with spending a ton of time at the gym, and that's not the case at all. If you're going to the gym and you have a regimen set, you know exactly what exercises you're doing, you know exactly how many sets you're doing, you know exactly what rep range you're going for, and you know how long your rest time is, I guarantee you, if you stick to that rest, and the most important part of this is probably the rest time. And what I do personally is take my phone out at the gym, I turn on my timer, my stopwatch, and I look at it as soon as I get off of the bench, and then I see, let's say it's at 12:45. Okay, now I know that I'm gonna get back on the bench at 13:45, 1 minute, and I don't let it go any longer, and I don't cut it any shorter. And what happens is my workouts are about half as long as they would be if I just kind of went about my business and didn't really focus on my rest times at all. And then the other side of it is if you don't know how many exercises you're doing, you don't know what exercises you're doing, you don't know how many reps or how many sets you're doing, you could end up doing way too many different exercises. You could end up doing way too many sets, and that's just going to prolong how long, extend the length of time that your workout lasts. And you're going to look up and you're going to have been at the gym for 2 hours and also not really gotten that good of a workout. My best workouts are when I only have 45 minutes until the gym closes, because I'll cut my rest time a little bit and I'll really focus on getting in and out of the gym as quick as possible while doing everything that I need to do. And if you keep that in mind the next time you go to the gym, and you make sure that you're not extending your rest times, you know exactly how many exercises you're doing, how many sets you're doing, you're going to be in and out of the gym. And like I said, less than an hour and a half, possibly closer to an hour if you're not doing like abs or cardio at the end or anything like that. So tip number 3, there's no need to live in the gym. Tip number 4, and one that I was 200% guilty of, dieting is 5 times as important as your training. And this is something that I did not take into account. I kind of heard it every now from like people who were in shape, or maybe on social medias or whatever. If I watched a YouTube video or something and people always talked about how important your diet is. But I mean, in my head, I was like, well, I go to the gym pretty often and I go and I work out pretty damn hard. I don't really need to be that close on my diet because I'm going to the gym and I'm going to see progress because I'm going to the gym and I'm working out consistently and hard. And that's not the case. And that's not what happened. And that shouldn't, and it's right for that to not have happened. And if you're somebody who goes to the gym consistently, I see it all the time. People who go to the gym, I see them in the gym almost every single time I'm there, but they've been looking the same for like 2 years. And why is that? Because yes, they might be going to the gym and they're working out, and working out is always better than not working out, but they go home and they eat like complete shit. They don't count any type of macros. You don't even necessarily have to count your macros. Just being aware of what you're eating and not letting it go to complete crap, not going home and loading up on Doritos or going out to eat and just ordering whatever you want off the menu. If you're aware of the foods that you're putting in your body and you're trying to keep them clean, and that doesn't even mean that you should cut all your carbs or anything like that. If you just simply get a little educated on what proper nutrition is and what healthy fats are and how they affect your body and what good clean carbs are and how those affect your body, and then making sure that you're eating nice lean proteins, that's going to go a long way. And what you're going to find is that you're going to start getting results, like I said, 5 times as fast when you have your diet in place versus when you were only working out hard. And I mean, to be completely honest with you, you could probably stop working out as hard, but if you have your diet in place, you're probably going to get more, I mean, still 4 or 5 times as many, as fast as results as if you were just working out hard. Also, I will throw a little plug in there. If you don't know anything about nutrition and you don't know anything about dieting, I do have a free body type quiz. I talk about this in my videos. You answer a couple of questions and then it spits out a video based off of what you answered and gives you the 3 most important things that you need to do to actually see progress. And one of those things is completely about diet. So if you want to check that out, you can click the link in the description right below this video. But that brings us to the 5th one. 5th tip. Make sure that you are on a plan. And this is something that I was definitely guilty of, because I would go to the gym, and I went to the gym for years, and all I would do is, oh, today's chest day? Okay, gonna go do a bunch of different chest exercises for however many sets, however many reps, and with whatever weight I feel like doing. Oh, it's back day? All right, cool. I'm gonna go do whatever exercises I wanna do, whatever back exercises sound good, whatever machine's available, and I'm gonna do however many sets I feel like doing, and I'm gonna do whatever weight I feel like doing. And I did that for a while, and what happened was I was constantly in a plateau. There's a term called progressive overload, and it is one of the most important terms when it comes to working out, and this basically means that you have to continually put your muscles under a stress that they're not used to. And that doesn't always mean that you have to go heavier. You can do something as simple as shorten your rest time. You can do something as simple as slowing down your tempo and lifting a little slower. You can do something as simple as increasing your weights. You can do something as simple as decreasing your weights and doing more reps. There's so many different ways, or just changing the exercises up. There's so many different ways to change up your training regimen so that you can continually see progress. But if you're not following a plan and you don't have any type of training regimen in place, how are you ever going to build off of that? There's a quote that goes, what gets measured gets managed. And if you're not measuring what you're doing in the gym, you don't know the exercises that you're doing, you're not doing them consistently, how are you going to build the muscle and build the strength and then build on top of that and change it and shock your muscles? You have to do exercises. You have to build strength from doing those exercises. And then once your body starts to adapt to the exercises that you're doing and the reps that you're doing and the weight that you're doing, that's when you change it so that you can continue to make progress. And the same thing goes with diet. If you're not following any type of plan with your diet, you're not going to see results unless you really know what you're doing. I don't necessarily track my macros every single day. I don't carb cycle every single day. I don't intermittent fast. I don't do keto. I don't do any type of special dieting every single day, but I've been dieting so long now that I know about what macros are in all the meals that I'm eating throughout the day. Therefore, I know I'm within that 80 to 90% range of the macros that I know I want to hit. I don't always hit, if I'm supposed to get 103 grams of fat today, I know that I'm probably landing between the 90 and the 110 range. I'm not necessarily hitting that 103 every single day, but I'm around that range, and that's going to keep me in pretty damn good shape. And if there comes a time where I want to get in really damn good shape, that's when I'll really start tracking it or carb cycling or anything like that. So 5th tip, make sure you're on a plan. And if you're not, like I said, I have a free body type quiz. It tells you the 3 most important things that you need to be doing if you're serious about getting in shape. And what you're probably going to find is that they're a lot easier than what you're already currently doing, and it takes a lot less effort, and you get a lot faster of results when you do it right. So if you want to check that out, you can click the link in the description right below this video. Other than that, if you guys like this video, make sure you're smashing that thumbs up. Also, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, make sure you're leaving them in the comment section below. And then last but not least, make sure you are smashing that subscribe button. That way you are getting notified when I release a new video. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.